Mm. Hey, hi, hello, what's up? Hey, hey, how y'all doing, honey? Honey, how have you been? How was your week? What are you guys planning to do for this weekend? Are you planning to go anywhere? Do you have any plans to doing? Do you have a date plan? I'm about to read off the comments, and then I was like, okay, I'm wait, then I come back and then verbally, audibly reply to them. Okay. So this comment is from Big Man 75789. He says, everything that you've said is true. Not long after my son was born, my then wife cheated. Before finding out, we were having a rough time. Like you stated, things were changing, and I guess we weren't seeing the shift. But listening to this video, I got convicted. I have been holding on to hurt and pain. Thank you for sharing this. It helped me a lot. You're welcome, big man. I know for people who dealt with infidelity, even if they have all the information and their mate was the one who cheated, they still blame themselves. They go through this massive, never-ending laundry list of what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? What did I miss? What do I need to change about myself? What's wrong with me? And so it has an impact that's complex. It has physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, psychological symptoms. I'm gonna tell you something that you're probably way, way, way past this part, but maybe it will help someone else. Okay. When a mate cheats, it isn't to spite you. It isn't even about you. You need to completely remove yourself out of the equation. Okay. This is what need to be understood by the person who were cheated on. This is what they need to know, right? As soon as the person says the following, I was not happy, hard stop. Immediately, because of misinformation, the brain goes into the person feeling like they were responsible for keeping their mate happy. Happiness is a state of being. You are not responsible for creating, maintaining, and sustaining someone's happiness. That is out of your control. That is not something anybody, no one are in control of your happiness, right? You are responsible for your happiness. So, in a lot of instances, they'll say, I wasn't happy. That's a them thing. That's not a you thing. And there probably were indicators, and you try different things, ask questions, or try to, recover process, whatever that may be, look like for you as you start noticing it, drifting, shifting, something isn't said right. When a person cheat, they are in an extremely painful place. They're in an extremely painful place. The first place they start at is denial, denying that they are not happy and something is going on with them. Number two, denying that they don't know what to do with that pain, stress, frustration, confusion, depression, whatever. Deny trauma, denying that they don't know what to do with it, right? Number three, denying reaching out for help, resources, and support before they make a decision, right? And then it progresses from them not knowing what to do, ignoring themselves and their feelings. Then it goes into, then they start looking externally. And the first person they look at is the person they're married to. That's who they're going to look at first. And then they start picking you apart. You're not doing this, you're not doing that, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you should be, you should. Why you like this? Why you like that? Why you don't do this no more? Why so they start picking you apart because it's something going on with them. That's going on in their life that they don't know how to manage, right? And then as the complaints come, you start getting frustrated and pissed off. So that breaks it down even more, right? And then it gets to the stage of anger. The anger stage is when the physical affair takes place. Once they get to the anger stage, that's when the physical sexual aspect of the affair takes place. During the stage of complaining, blaming, finger pointing, that is the stage of the emotional component of the affair takes place. Now, some see it as, giving someone else their time or fortifying relationships with them. It's not necessarily intended. I don't think I've never heard of a couple say, when they started an affair that I was looking for someone else to live my life with. And that's never their intention when they start these relationships. I don't think the mistresses know that, and the person having the affair don't admit that to the person they're having an affair with. And so they go to the person they have before they get to the part of the physical affair. They tell the person that they're about to have sex with, or, whatever. They tell that person everything they've been picking apart about their mate. They also tell them the answers that they know are society's. They'll turn a blind eye if I cheat. If I say this, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he's not giving me this, then someone will turn a blind eye to it. In an instance of the wife being cheated on, oh, she didn't cook, she didn't do this, she ain't do that, and they know societal norms, they would turn a blind eye to it. So what I'm getting to is this: the thing that causes a great deal of damage to the mate that's been cheated on, they assume majority of the relationships problems. They blame themselves for many years, and then that pain turns inwardly and it starts deconstructing them. And it isn't the goal of the mate who cheated on them for that to happen to them. Is because they're in their selfishness. They didn't realize that's part of the fallout when this is found out, right? When in reality, the wisdom to want to assume the wisdom and courage to want to assume responsibility for the health and the vitality and the growth uh, of your marriage is a sign of love. It's a sign of selflessness. It's a sign of commitment, right? And then on the other side, the person who wasn't thinking that way once doesn't understand the value of someone's commitment, who do want to assume their role and their responsibility for their marriage to survive. I wish that more couples knew, or the person who were cheated on, that it was never about you, and there was never anything you could have done to stop or prevent it. It was their decision. It was something going on with them that was beyond you and beyond the marriage itself. And what was going on with them started years before you were even met. And it developed their character, it developed their conscience, it developed their discipline, their self-control, their morals, and their values, right? And because of that, those structures of a person are in place before you marry them. You can't put them in place after you've been married, you see. So the people I've worked with help with this. I try to get them to understand as much as possible. This is not about you. Uh-uh. This is about your spouse has something going on, emotional, with their identity as an adult, as a man or a woman, as a mother, as a father, as a wife, as a husband, as an employee, as a leader, as a politician. Something is going on with their identity, and those worlds are clashing within them. And within one of those roles, They're upset, they're frustrated, they're confused, they feel trapped. And the one role that seemed the easiest for them to kind of take a break and check out from, it is the marriage. You cannot check out from being a parent, right? Not a sane person. I'm just saying. You can't check out from being a parent. You can't really check out from your job, or you don't have no job, and you're homeless, you're broke. So people don't do that. You ain't gonna cut up on your job like that, right? You can't check out on being an adult child. You can't check out on all of these things, but that one relationship, that there are too many opportunities for this. It is the marriage, unfortunately. And I can admit, within the marriage concept, it takes more hits to it than any of your other relationships that does more damage. You have situations with your children, or situations with your parents, situations with your siblings, situations with your coworkers, situations with your colleagues. There are parameters in place for you to retrieve and heal and build those relationships, right? It isn't the same for marriage, because that particular relationship, because of that decision, it can end it all. Hard stop. And so that's why you have to handle yourself and be conscious of your feelings, be aware of your feelings. If you're upset about something, yeah, you need to put that out there, not meaning as a weapon, but it can be something very honest, as this season I will not be able to provide the following in our relationship because, and then you explain why. This is either I don't know how to do this right now, or I'm not able to do this right now because this is going on with me. However, this is what I'm doing to navigate it, get a resolve about it, and strengthen myself so that it won't continue to be a problem for me. You see, I just became a parent. I'm just using parenting as an example. I just became a parent, and your mate doesn't know it. They're smiling. They done took all the maternity pictures, and they got the gown on. They holding their belly and smiling, and the wind blowing in their hair. And the husband sitting there terrified because his dad wasn't there. He never had a relationship with him. And now he's terrified. I'm gonna be just like my dad. What do I need to do so I don't end up being like my dad? Like my dad wasn't even attached to me or felt connected to me. Like the dude wasn't even there. Like, how do I do this? I had my uncles, but I don't want to be like they were. They ain't even really take care of their kids. And I'm trying to do something I ain't never seen how to do before. And I don't want to look too soft in front of my wife. And then she thinks something wrong with me because I want to be affectionate with my kids. But that was something I didn't have when I was growing up, but I wish I had it. But my mama over here asking me for money. I got a baby on the way. I can't really, I don't want to disappoint her too. See, these worlds are starting to collide. You see that? And it ain't got nothing to do with you should. Nothing. The flip side for a woman, her whole body done changed. She has been snatched and so her whole life. She has been a hot girl. She's been excelling at work, professionally, academically, and now she's pregnant, right? And so now she's like, okay, he may not even look at me the same no more. How am I going to be physically and intimately with him now? Like my body, I'm a mom. You see what I'm saying? I hold my baby against my breast. This is, everything I do. I have a lot of things to do. Babies take a lot of energy. I'm not getting a whole lot of sleep. I've had to be off of work. I don't want to mess around and lose my job. What if they replace me? That can cause us to go into debt. Well, he talking about he want me to stay home with the baby. I don't want to be home full time with the baby. I got to compromise. They say in marriage, you got to compromise. I haven't been out of the house. I don't have no relationships with my friends anymore. All the time, all I'm talking about now is my baby. I'm talking about my husband, my baby, and my husband. I don't know what's going on outside of the house. I don't have no friends. You see that? You see that? And so you have this culmination of this cloud that she's running through cycles and circuits through her head, her mind, and her being, right? And so guess what she started to do? Well, It's been forever since somebody looked at me like that, told me I was beautiful, or any of that. Or I just want to know if I still got it, right? And like a banana peel, she walk out there, she done slipped on it, and she done slipped her behind clean into a full blown affair. But that's the thing. The people who deal with married people, they're just as selfish as the married person. And they know they're just as messed up as they are too. I can tell you that now. Let me tell you something. Healthy men, healthy women do not go dealing with other people's husbands and wives. And we don't care how you slicing and dicing, honey. I don't care if you've been separated 20,000 years. If you didn't take your behind and go get a divorce, you still married. You are still in healthy moral people with high moral standard. They don't want your wife and they don't want your husband. They don't want no parts in that. So people who do these things, they look for a specific type of flawed character that will go along with it. And so I say all this for a reason, that after all of this time, big man, I hope that you in the process of turning this inwardly, because it was never about you. It was never about you. It was never anything you could have stopped, prevented, or anything. It wasn't that. I don't care if she sat across the table from you and said, well, if you would have, if you, she was not in the place to own her own deficiencies and look at her character and see it was her. It was her. It was her. So just understand that, okay? That not just you, but anyone who's been through this, the hardest thing I've had to try to help them with is to stop turning this inwardly and assuming this, because it's not you. It was never about you. Never, never. Um, and people do this in other ways, right? They may not necessarily get tangled up with an actual person. They might start getting tangled up with alcohol. They might get tangled up with food. They may get tangled up with gambling. You get what I'm saying? There are different things that people find as vices to escapism. It's escapism for them. But I just want to encourage you, and I'm so thankful that what I said last week or the other week was beneficial to you. I really do. I really do. I wish you many blessings to you, big man, to you and your family, and I hope that all is well with you. Well, I can't, as you can see, that is my photo. And no, I don't use filters, honey. No, I do not, honey. I'm a whole old lady, and I don't mind people seeing my little old lady face, honey. I'm not ashamed of it, honey. No, 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 honey. No, that's why I don't believe in using filters, because I'm like, why? Hey, you either like it or you don't. And trust me, I like it. And that's what matters the most. I like it. I like me. Okay. Anyway, what has been going on in the social media jungle? I can admit that I've been doing research for on Shamako, and I did do some research up there in Georgia. All they need to do is go to a probate court and start the process, and that boy could actually get help without him asking for help, and he would be mandated to do so. They wouldn't have to run him down and keep trying to track him down for appointments or any of that. But I can tell you that for the most part, I do believe that is what, hold on one second. I do believe that's what the quote unquote rich auntie is doing. I think that's what the doctors and specialists and supports that he need in order to stabilize his life, because it's just been hamster wheel for years, and people keep saying, "Oh, they won't clap. They won't clap." They want clout, 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 clout. They want clout in the thick clout. Who's using him? I mean, for the most part, Shamar goes around using everyone. I mean, I don't know other way. You can't ignore it. After watching the homeless interview, the homeless street interview or whatever they called it, it was during that interview I realized the severity of Shamako's mental illness, and he is to the point that he does need someone to step in. Now, as far as his family and seeing and recognize the severity of his mental illness and developmental disorder delay, I have a problem with his family at this point. I do. This child, he's incapable of processing and comprehending very baseline, simple questions, very direct questions. He's not able to comprehend them properly. His family, they're aware that that's how low his comprehension skills are. And he is, he has literacy barriers as well. So why wouldn't they go through the courts to get what need done? The probate court. That don't mean he would have been placed in an institution. He would have had the resources and support that he needed that they're ill equipped to provide. To be perfectly honest with you, at this time, I have a problem with his family. I do. Um, I couldn't imagine, treating a loved one that way when you know that their mental illness is that severe. I couldn't, personally, I can't even wrap my mind around it. And we've had loved ones, we've done all kinds of interventions for things we've taken care of, ways we've stepped in, including probate courts and everything else to take care of our own. But I've never known, I mean, like, in the heart, I'm gonna leave it alone. I got a problem with his family. I don't like it at all. Okay, okay, I have read all of these, honey. Yeah, Big Man was the oh my goodness. Okay, and he has all creators are making money off of him. He has an entire sector. And that's crazy because I came from the beef sector. And if you don't know about the beef sector, it just trust me, the beef sector is long gone, is not what it used to be. They have a new generation of beef sector, and it's not real OG beef sector with Five A, Jay Wilson, Rita, um, what was the girl name? She ended up going to jail. VS, all of these really Billie Jean, all of these really OGs during the beef sector who carried us all the way through COVID, from the very, 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 very beginning of COVID and all the way through. Um, and then, the girl, what was her name? The one who faked her death. I think her name was like seven stars or no Mona something Mona, but she faked her death, and I mean they pretty much canceled her. But after then, just B sector was just we had so much fun. We had such a good time together, and trips and stuff like that. We really really enjoyed it. So I don't know what's over there now, but anytime I even try to watch it, I get a headache. I haven't seen much Andrew Caldwell content after the termination from the job or whatever because I'm waiting to see what happens for Shorty and what happens for British and what happens for Tiffany Fox because those three are actual professionals. They're actually professionals, entertainment professionals. You get what I'm saying? And broadcasting. But I don't see Andrew going away in no time soon, to be honest with you. As in all things, the Andrew Caldwell sector ensures and maintains and sustains Andrew Caldwell's visibility. Therefore, like I've always said, they are his greatest marketing tool and resource because of the direction they choose to take with Andrew, right? And plus they're eating off of them. So they're not going to change the trajectory of the content because then their views will go down. So they're not going to do that. That's just business, and I understand that. I get that. But they have to understand at the same time the approach you're taking, it really isn't, it don't rattle him. It don't make him uneasy. It don't really, really get into his dome like that. Because he's used to that. He's used to that angle. He knows how to adapt to that. Not only that, it causes people to loop right back around without you all knowing about it. They turn right back around, take the information to him, and they also help him get opportunities as well to spite the Andrew Caldwell platform sector attendees. So it's kind of like to spite them in their face and watch them get worked up about it. So it's a lot of puppetry going on, right? To rattle their cage, but they're definitely not rattling his cage, if that makes sense. So let me skedaddle, honey. I did the St. Pete thing. It was okay. I can't say it was like, oh my God, I had such a good time. It was an outing. I'll just put it that way. But this weekend, I'm starting to get everybody's stuff ready for Mother's Day because we're doing a nice Mother's Day presentation. Lots and lots of surprises for some people, darling. I need to see, did I upload this person for you guys? Did I do did I do a video for you guys about her by any chance? If I didn't, let me know in the comments and then I'll come back and do a real quick, broadcast about her so you can go research her, learn about her, understand her, and appreciate what she's doing as far as global ministry, and especially being the first Black woman, the only Black woman, and a Black woman to be the most powerful and influential figure when it comes to Christianity globally. So if I didn't do that video, just let me know and I'll upload it for you guys. All right, honey. Uh, Let me go ahead and do something. What? I don't know. I can tell you that now. I enjoy not having to rip and run and rip. And I noticed too, I don't push myself nearly as hard as I used to when I was married. Like it was ridiculous. Feeling like you got to be everything to everybody at all times and your whole existence about everything and everybody, and it causes you to be so wound up and so tight all of the time. You're loving and you're kind, but at the same time you just kind of like, if you step on my toe, I might backhand slap you, right? So I noticed that since getting a divorce and not having that searing hot magnifying glass that called marriage, that just a lot of stuff, it's just some days I have no schedule. Literally, I have no schedule. I do what I want when I want. If I don't want to, then just know. I think the best way to describe it is that I'm in a place that I no longer feel obligated for anything or anyone, no one or nothing. If I want to, I will. If I don't want to, I won't. If I don't want to do anything, I don't do anything. If I just want to burn gas just to burn it, then I will. If I want to wake up and just go to the airport and leave. I do just because I can and I want to. And so it's liberating to not have a person centered in my life and everything just kind of gravitating around them, and everything you do benefits them in some way. So that's the only way reason you really doing it, is because it benefits him in some shape, form, or fashion. Child, please, if it don't benefit you, if it do benefit you, honey, that is hit or miss. My laziness might benefit you. My decision to lay right in my house and look out the window and just watch birds may benefit you. But I don't care if it do or not. That's the difference. Because this weekend, of course, I'm gonna do the shopping stuff for Mother's Day and everything to make sure everybody, get the gifts that we've decided we would be doing for all of these women. And another thing, um, you may want to in your area, I don't know, but you may want to, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of Mother's Day weekend, choose an area with high foot traffic. It may be one of your poor neighborhoods or communities where you have a high concentration of single moms at. You may want to walk through those communities, hand out gift bags with small things in them, a little trinkets that a mom would appreciate. Bath and Body Works had an amazing sale. I was able to reach out to them, and I had a lot of stuff, cases and cases of stuff came in from Bath and Body Works that we are assembling into these nice gift bags. And we are going out to the different housing communities, and we'll be, doing small things to support and encourage those women who are moms and trying to change their children's lives. So, and at minimum, too, when you're out there and you're giving the bags away, please do not be walking up to these people and you do not hold their hands and pray with them. Do not just hand people stuff and leave. That's not the whole purpose of the outreach initiative. The whole purpose is to be able to get in close enough proximity that you're available to offer prayer. Okay. And if you have to almost insist, then you do so. But even while you're walking around in and out, weaving out before you get back to your little meeting locations and points, you need to be walking and praying at the same time. You don't need to be kicking and playing on your phone. You need to make sure everywhere your foot touch, every foot you place your foot trod, you need to be praying the entire time. Shift the dynamics because you have the grace in your life and on your life to be able to change an entire nation if need be. You heard me. You heard me. Let me skedaddle because you know what I'm about to do, child. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know, and we don't need to know sometimes. Enjoy your weekends, darling. I don't know. Wait a minute. Let me look at something. Uh, yeah, I just have to randomly do it and come back and do it. All right, you'll just pop up and see. You'll just look up and see I'm just there. All right, have a good one. Bye. Hmm.